First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We are now getting ready to set up the 180-inch 16:9 pre-coated screen for from our 38 Black Widow. I'll get to the other side and turn the other fan off. Done. Ooh, man, this thing is big. So, you can see when I first stretched it out, it looked like it was a little smaller, but man, once we basically went in and painted this thing out, whoo, this thing is big. All right. Really? That was done. That's quick. That's done all right. We're gonna do something like this. Man, this thing is definitely dark. All right, I'm gonna have to order me another surface for this. So we're gonna leave this the way it is because I gotta order me another surface for it. So I'm gonna order it for my surface size. Stand back in place. 1 inch down. Good. I don't like that part in the middle. Here we go. Once we expand the whole screen. Oh, right in there. That's why. All right, I'm gonna have to bring this back some. I'll bring it down some. Not have the signatures today. Let's work. Here we go.
This is what tomorrow looks like.
Oh, sorry about that, people. .4K tropical fish. So a long way from Earth. Testing. What do I want to do? I want to see giant fish. I don't want to do giant birds. I don't care. Now the reason why I'm doing it this way because I also too want to project on my floor at the same time with the other projector. Because I'm going to actually do 180 inch for my floor now. That's it. Finish. So it's not done yet. As I said before, we have a special heightener coating that we'll be applying to the screen. That's a bit of an extra perk that we do with our preview coats. It's a spray-on application, final touch. Actually causes the screen to actually produce higher gain, better color, better contrast. We always do this for pre-coateds. This is something we have control over on our end. We can design it any way we want. So that's the first part of having it. I am so tired. So without camera, I could have this knocked out in no time at all. But because we want all this recorded and documented, this is why the camera needs to be here. Actually, I do have something I can use for my floor for the time being. I have my massive giant white backdrop. Floor being this color is driving me nuts. Can't stand it. So what I'm going to do is my giant backdrop for my floor until my new one gets here. This is so much better. Can't stand seeing a dirty floor. It drives me crazy. That's better. Much, much better. Thank you. Yes, perfect. All right, this will be good until I get my other one in here. Can't look at the dirty spots. It's driving me crazy. Looks much better. Much cleaner. We get the other one in. I'll get some of my heavy dog on me just on my side, so I don't trip over this one back and forth. That's great. So I learned a couple of things today. At 48 ounces, we'll paint up to a 180-inch screen. Good to know. That means you're going to have to change some things, but the price is still going to stay the same, even though it does up to 180-inch. We just are not going to offer any gallons anymore. It's not necessary. There's way too much paint for it in a gallon. If our 48 is going to knock out a 180-inch screen, what would be the point of offering a gallon? So we're just going to convert it to 248s. That's it. Because there's no point in even trying to make. That's the only way we'd have it as company. Nobody in their right mind, if you're doing this for home, would need a gallon. You wouldn't need it. It'd just be way too much paint. 248s, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what you're going to do. And even that with the 248s, we're going to have to go back and we're going to have to get a screen 200 inches. It's going to surpass the 200-inch easy. We're gonna need like 250 in here, 250, see what happens. If we paint it 250 with 248s, if that works, then that's gonna be the new, we're gonna have for the new gallon, because we don't really need it. The paint literally has that much coverage. Like I told you, when the customer came there and showed me, he painted a 150-inch screen. And when he showed me how much paint he had left there, I was like, well, gee whiz. Well, I could go in and I could probably knock out a 180-inch. And like I said, I went in heavy on the screen. I dumped paint all over the screen, just have an everyday customer dumped it on, soaked it into the screen, and still we had enough to do the 180-inch screen. So now we're going to be changing how much paint it actually paints in. It won't be 160, it'll be 100 to 180. And then we'll bring in a 250-inch screen. The 1 gallons are going to be removed today. There's no point, it's too much paint. So they're going to be removed today, and they're going to be replaced with 248s. The 248s, we need to go in and actually paint that. Before we even put a 248 up there on the market, we need to paint it in first so we see exactly how much paint 248s are going to knock out. We can't do Mickey Mouse math and go, well, if it's 180 and 180, then it'll make that size. No, that's Mickey Mouse math. We have to basically literally paint the screen in so we can find out exactly and do it heavy to make sure it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So if anybody ever comes up to me and I put this on my website, they go, oh, that's crazy. That's impossible. We got a live video demonstration showing me doing it. That's why I say you just can't put Mickey Mouse math on your website or Mickey Mouse specifications. You have to have the real deal and you have to be to back it up. What we got going on this side? I need to bring this up a little bit more. Yeah, here. Okay. On a slant there. I'm using Mickey Mouse math. Hey, Blue. What's that? Hey, Blue, let's go. Can't use Mickey Mouse math here, people. You gotta have actual real facts. That is quite surprising. Like I said, when we did 48s, we had paint left over, but I would never think like knock out a 180 inch. Nah, I'm thinking maybe 50, 60 inch extra screen attached to it. Maybe that's it. But nah, whole 180 inches is a big freaking screen. I got it lengthwise and still we said the ground. We don't want to do it this way because I want to hit some of the floor with the other projector. Man. Yeah. So that changes everything. It causes a fluctuation change because we can't offer gallons. That's way too much paint. Way too much. So we do 248s. Before we put the 248s, before we make the notion that 248s can do 250 inch, we literally have to paint a 250 inch screen. I got one in the back. I got a 250. We got the 2-port 250, but we're not painting that because that screen literally has a tear in it. So we got to order another one and bring it in here to paint it fresh. Now that screen may require to fold it half and paint the other half of it because that's going to be a pretty big screen. I do know that for a fact. It's going to be a big screen. 200 inch, it'll cover 200 inch with no problem. Well, actually, a 200 inch would probably be about 48. And probably a 20 ounce would knock that out. So, but to be sure, I'm not gonna, like I said, I don't want to pitter patter with those numbers. I'd rather just go straight to 48s and then do a 48 and a 20 ounce. That's a waste of my time. The 248s is exactly what we can get out of it. But we're going to offer the gallons, unless you have a massive screen in your backyard. It's going to be required to go over 250 inches. That's the only way we're probably going to offer a gallon. Other than that, only companies will have access to that right now as we speak. Because there's too much paint. You don't need it. Honestly, don't need it. I don't know what you would be painting that big to begin with if it's for home use. I really don't see at the end of the day, I don't see too many people with 180 inches in the backyard. Most inflatable screens I see, the reason why inflatable screen looks so big, because number one is this huge blow-up border around it. That's number one. But the physical screen on the inside is really not that large. But you have one of those huge, massive ones, then that's a pretty big screen. But the average blow-up screen really isn't that big. What makes it look so big is the inflatable part of the screen. That's what makes it look big. You got 14 or 17 or 20 feet across, it's still not a big screen. Most of that comes from the inflating from the frame. That's what makes the screen look so big and bulky. But when you break it down, when you tear off the screen and you size it up, it's really not that big. Now, if you got a massive inflatable screen up there, you're not staking that to the ground. Very few people will stake that to the ground. That will rip up from the ground with no problem. Usually most people are using cinder blocks, they're using freaking cement buckets, even vehicles to stake a screen down that big. Because it is going to travel. So the average home is not going to have a screen that big. For 180 inch, something like this, it's going to be portable, take down and over again. I don't see too many people with them. Maybe because they're expensive. Should be that, they're just expensive. Now, once we get these screens done, we get them on the website. We're going to have a how-to channel. We're going to have a section on there, some how-to, to show you how to build your own grommet stands. Some people make them out of PVC. I think PVC is actually wonderful. I've actually ever built one out of PVC before, but I like making them out of wood. Treated wood, I like using wood. And with treated wood, we can make them collapsible, which means we can put hinges and locks in the middle of the screen to make it collapse. You do not need a center bar for a screen that involves grommets. It's not necessary. I would not put one there in the middle. Because when the wind pushes against it, that center bar is going to cause an imprint right in the middle of your screen. You don't want that. So you don't need one there. But pretty much it's very simple. Anytime you build a screen, if you're making out of wood, you always make the frame bigger than the actual screen. The screen has to fit into the frame. I say probably about that much away from the actual physical frame, because you want to be able to put those tension rubber bands in between to make sure you tighten it up. For each grommet, you just put in a loop screw, screw with a loop on the end for each grommet. So that way, when you tie your rubber bands or your bungees, I got a bungee over there somewhere on the door. No, we got a bungee upstairs. You slide your bungees through. They can go right through the loop screw. You can tighten them down, and then you have this nice, tight screen all the way across. Make it out of wood. Now, the bottom platform is pretty easy. You can use probably 2 4 inches wide to make the feet at the bottom. When you make the feet at the bottom, it's very simple. I explain this without on camera. Okay, just imagine this is a screen right here itself. You put 2 pieces of wood on this side, one here and one there. You put a brace that goes across, so those 2 connect together, and the same thing on the back. It's like you're building a mini frame under your screen. The reason why you make the plank so long, because that allows you to put cinder blocks, allows you to put sandbags. That will weigh the screen down to keep it from going from left to right. Put your planks out in the front just as long as the one at the back, so the screen is going to be stabilized. Whether it swings this way or this way, it's stabilized. You can put weights here or weights there, however way you want to do it. That's pretty much it. Now, if I want to make the screen where I want it to basically collapse, I would basically from here to here, I would put lock hinges in, which means when I bring them up, they would lock in place. When I want to release them, they can fold the screen in half, and I can put it someplace else. There's so many ways you can build them. But if you go to I'm not trying to put down the company Carl's, but Carl's can be a bit expensive for that frame. PVC piping can be expensive at the end of the day. And this is something you can build at Home Depot or Lowe's. I would suggest get treated wood, because the wood's already treated. You don't have to worry about it warping or expanding or any of that nonsense at the end of the day. That's it. That's all you got to do. Now, if you want something to stand alone, that's going to be a standalone, something you can stand anywhere you want, because you'll have it weighted down. Or basically, without the stand on the back of it, that's something you can attach to the bottom of your deck by using some L brackets or, L brackets, basically about it. That's it. Mine's going to be actually installed under the deck. I'm going to build 2 of them. One's going to be a standalone by itself, and the other one's going to be installed under the deck. And that's it. So why go out and spend all this money when you can just build it pretty much for like 50, 60 bucks, depending on the size of your unit. That's it. So we're going to put one together, set it up, put it outside. I did one for a motorized projection screen stand. Yep. Okay, let's see. What's going on over here? That's Kraken Jackson. I'm gonna bring my down here. I can't wait to get this outside. Matter of fact, I want to get some gaming off of this right now. See, cracking Jackson cracking.
The waffle sizzling is back at Wawa. Start your day with any two sizzlies for $5. Gotta have a Wawa.
That fist has got some disinfecting strength.
Man, Sizzlies, man. This Wawa's is pretty good for breakfast. I tell you one thing, I'll never go to a place for breakfast. Freaking Dunkin' Donuts. Never, ever again. Dunkin' Donuts food was so bad at one point, I literally thought it was karma coming back to get me for something I did 20 years ago. It was that bad, literally that bad. And that stuff that lingers with you after you get done eating in the car, and it lingers with you all the way home, and all day just messes you up. It was one of those incidents. Never ever again. I'm not saying all branches, but that one did it for me right there. I would never go back there and order anything from them. I order the donuts, yes, as far as it goes. I like to get my donuts early in the morning when they first bring them out, because after that, them afternoon donuts, I don't know. You gotta be careful about fast food now. I'm just trying to stay away from all of it. I'm glad, basically, I don't leave, because usually when I used to leave the house all the time, I was always stopping off at some Popeyes or Burger King, McDonald's, someplace to eat something, you know what I mean? Or basically go to Outback Steakhouse or someplace. But I'm glad now I'm just going back to cooking all my food, buying everything organic. I'm going to start getting to the process of growing my own food. Because right now, man, the way things are going, the way companies are cutting corners and people are just trying to save money, yeah, I don't really trust companies anymore. At the end of the day, people say, "Oh, you're paranoid, man." If you worked at some of the places I worked at, man, I'm telling you something. You probably wouldn't even go near food either. Anybody who works in the food industry, yeah, just sit down and have a conversation about what goes on about their day, and they'd be like, "You never would go near. You look at food differently, completely. Some things I would never ever tell you on camera. Never. There are just some things you would literally have to take to your grave at the end of the day, and I had two of them in my head that I would literally have to take to my grave. I could never repeat them ever. It was that bad. Literally that bad. Whew. Yeah, I just rather just grow my own stuff. I envy farmers at the end of the day. You can go out there and grow your own fruits and vegetables and all that stuff. People live off the land. I envy you every freaking day. What goes on in the supermarket, what goes on behind closed doors, you have no idea how nightmarish it is. But what you got to do, you got to pray over your food every day. I tell people, pray over your food. That's got to be amazing. Go out and hunt. That's how my mother grew up. They went out and grew all their food. And if they wanted meat and whatever, they hunted. They tracked it down and they killed it. And they hunted it. It was rare that they ever went to a supermarket. Extremely rare. Imagine having that much control over what goes into your body. That's amazing. You're not paying for it at that. Yeah. Typical. $4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Introducing a sound broadband, award-winning internet, powered by RCN.
And my little ones in the family are complaining about their cell phone bills. We're past this. Our screen. When you hear me talk like this, we're done. The screen's doing what it needs to do. We don't show contrast, so this is no point. It's pointless. But when I start talking about this bottom line, we're done. I've already seen what I need to do. Technology is going to do what it needs to do. It doesn't make a difference. It's going to do what it needs to do. The real test comes in as beating the crap out of it, which we're doing right now. We got 150 inch outside. It's going through wind, snow, sleet, rain. Yeah, it's getting the crap beat out of it. But I was more happy about getting that 48 to go right into this, man. I'm still blown away. And now we got our own primer too. You seen that stuff we applied to it? That's a one coat application. That stuff will seep right through. God's amazing, I'm telling you. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, my nieces and them were sitting there complaining about their cell phone bills. Like, you don't even know what an expensive cell phone bill at the end of the day is. If you grew up in the era of the brick phone, you know what expensive cell phone bills are. You definitely know. The brick era. The brick, the cell phone, it looks like you're about to call on an airstrike. Those of you who had the liberty of having one of those phones when you were coming up, I mean, they were, I guess at that particular time, $1,000 for a phone was considered to be expensive. I think the bag phones were $500, and you know, $1,000 for the phone. But it wasn't that. It was the fact that what you paid to make a phone call and what you paid for someone to call you. So if someone called you, you were going to pay for that. And if you made a call, of course you're going to pay for that. Imagine $4 a minute. You add that up. $4 a minute for incoming and outgoing calls. You paid extra for call waiting. You paid extra for three-way calling. All that was extra. All the stuff that you get for free now, basically, you paid for it. You definitely paid for it. There were no apps. There were no touch screens. There's none of that. No tiny screen. You had a difference. You had an option of what you wanted to come in, red or green. This would mean the numbers would pop up. That was it. You paid $4 a minute. That's how much it would cost you. Got your cell phone bill, you didn't know whether or not they were giving you your social security number or they were giving you how much money you owe them at the end of the day. But it wasn't cheap. It was really not cheap. Everybody else had pagers in between that. Either you had two versions of pagers. You either had a Sky pager or you had a regular pager. The regular pager, the Nokia, which is basically the one that would cost like $15 or $13 or $12 a month. And then you had the luxury version, which was called a Sky pager, which I had one of those, which was $30 a month. That's the one that came with the private secretary. It had an LED display that would have the numbers and whoever called run across the screen. Yeah, those suckers were huge. They were like about that freaking big. And someone would call you, and a secretary would actually say, no, Mr. Bird is not here. A real person would call and talk to you. Mr. Bird is not here right now, but can you leave a number? And any message you would see would come across my screen. Those are Sky pagers. I had one of those. Then you had the small pager, the one that's about that big, you know what I mean? It had a little screen across, a little dim light in the corner, and you'd hit it and the number would pop up, you know, or the code was, when you needed to talk to somebody right away, the code was 911. If you needed to talk to somebody right away, it was very important. You would type in that 911 and you would automatically know from the door that it was an emergency call, that somebody needed help or you had to talk to somebody, whatever it was. Yep, but I had a Sky pager. Never forget that. I saw somebody on the bus with one. Guy had it, came on, I saw the LCD and I saw the letters displaying across the middle. Whoa, what the frig is that? He said, oh, it's a Sky pagers. It's got a live secretary and everything. I said, you gotta be kidding me. How much are they were like 130, 140 bucks, but it was like $30 a month for them. I found a guy around the corner who had a pager shop, and this is mine at that particular time, that was able to, I got one from over there. Still had to find a phone booth. Still had to find one of them. Then you had people that had the Sky pager or the pager and the cell phone. They had both. I should call you was macking it. You was definitely macking it if you had both. Yep. Everybody remember those? Or if you were in that era. If you're really in those eras, you remember rotary phones. You know, that whole cell phone, you got a cell phone in your car. Well, really, having a cell phone in your car is a big deal because anybody can have a cell phone. The minute you walk in your car, you got an automatic cell phone in your car. Back then, if you had a phone in your car, you literally had money if you had a phone in your car. And it wasn't basically push button, it was rotary. That's how far they go back. They were rotary. Of course, actually, too, it was a weapon, too, at the end of the day. Literally, it was a weapon. Someone broke into your car, you could smack them. A lot of you know, you think I'm joking. It was a weapon. You ever seen the handle on a phone, an actual pay phone? That thing was literally a weapon. People use those in fights from time to time. And it was freaking hilarious. Yeah, and you had a cord attached to it, too. Oh, man. I go back and I think about how far phones have come. I mean, I'm not as far back as when my mother came back when it came to phones. But I remember basically when you had the rotary phones and you had that freaking 1,000-foot cord that you would walk around the house. Eventually, someone would get decapitated running through a hallway because you'd be going from here to there. And how it would get all jumbled up into this huge, massive, intertangled ball that you couldn't unravel. So you just be walking around the house with this huge, giant ball attached to your phone because that's the cable you refuse to unravel, but you just left it that way. Oh man. And then they had the push button phones that came out. And I do remember the rotaries. I do remember the push buttons when they first came out. And they had the cordless phones when they came out. They had the huge walkie-talkie antennas attached to them that you can go out back with a baby monitor and listen to your neighbors next door easily because they would pick up on anything. G.I. Joe walkie-talkies, dog, kid baby monitors, they would automatically pick up. Then they started getting to the megahertz on how many hertz you could actually add to them. The higher the frequency, the less chance people would be listening to your conversations. Oh man, it was crazy. And I don't think people really have well, some people still have landlines. It's always good to have a landline in your house. You never know. But now since you have cell phones and everybody's got cell phones and they're easy to get now. Because I remember when the razors are out and everybody, basically you're paying like somebody a minute and you only couldn't call after a certain time. And after a certain part of weekends, you would get more minutes. And then they started coming out Metro. Was it Metro? It came out first. The Metro PCS came out with the unlimited. But Metro's freaking antennas were garbage. I had Metro when they first came out, and their antennas were garbage. You couldn't pick up a jack on those bad boys. If you had a Verizon, you had money because you'd be one of those people on the subway that would pick up and go, hello? Hey, what's going on? Like, oh, shoot, they got a Verizon set up over there. Then AT&T started getting better antennas. And I switched from Metro over to Cricket. I was with Cricket for a while. Cricket signal was actually very, very good. They're extremely good because they were using AT&T towers. And then from there, I went to Verizon, which I have now. Yep, Verizon literally picks up anywhere on the planet. I lie to you not. I had a mother. My mother used to live, she lives there now, but she used to live way up in the Poconos. I'm not talking about go to the Poconos, and I'm talking about cut off the road, where the road literally cuts off, and you have to use 4x4 vehicles to get the rest of the way up. She lived in a logging area, not logging, like a little cabin area out in the woods, you know what I mean? A little, you would call a senior citizen home, you know, out there where you have people can be closer to nature. Well, yeah, you was definitely going off road. And I have to watch people in the car, the bars would start dropping one by one. Because if you weren't picking up, you weren't picking up out there. And she had a Verizon when she was up there because that's the only thing that literally would pick up. You know if your signal was good once you get out there. Either you picked up or you don't. But man, the brick phone. I actually had the brick phone. I want the Strawbridge enclosure. I got it for $999. I had it for about a good maybe 5 months and I let it go. It was too expensive. Way too expensive. All right, where are we going to go from here? It was way, way, way too expensive. 4K Snow screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Look out the window, watch your snow. Still had a couple days ago. I actually did that today. We don't have anywhere to start. Snow is melting.
What's my safe light story? I see inspiration right through my glass. So when my windshield cracked, I chose Safe Light. They replaced the glass and recalibrated my safety system. That service I can trust.
Sleep before Sleep Number was just that. It was just sleep. My Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps me stay at peak performance. Every moment of quality sleep makes every waking moment count.
I don't get it. I can sleep on a pile of rocks and I'd still would be up on time to get my work done. I don't get it. But I guess that's not best for everybody. Everybody has to have a certain way they sleep. But man, it'll make a difference. I can sleep just about anywhere. I'm good. Give me a pile of rocks. Still would be up at 12 o'clock to go back to work. Doesn't make a difference. Can't wait to get this outside for some Pac-Man. Yeah, I'm gonna put the lights up and we bounce them back and forth. Some signature lights. Probably put a new DJ system outside. Or I'm gonna hook this. Oh, mine. This is just mine. The frame we're building outside is gonna be a universal frame. So it will allow me to actually attach a 180 inch, 150 inch, or the whopping 250 inch screen, which now we're going to be coding in this bad boy because now I got to know out of curiosity if 248s can knock out a 250 inch screen. And we got this in the max out zone, max out, max A. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Are you now? Are you getting it from YouTube? It's gonna make my job so much easier. I want to be to knock these screens out in no time at all because now the primer we got worked amazingly. Man, we had oh man, it worked perfect. I'll be to coat these screens one hit, that's it. Usually got to put 2 applications on it. 1 application, we're done. So once we come up with a price for it, we got to calculate shipping, we got to calculate bricks. We're going to be dropping into the packages. For those who don't know what the bricks are LED lights, because we want to make sure you get the weatherproof LED lights set up for outside. I would hang this from my wall. My freaking bracket is not even big enough to actually stretch out the size of the wall. Is it? Did we put all 4 poles in there? Oh, we did put all 4 poles in it. Ooh. I can't punch a hole through this wall. These walls are concrete. Oh, sorry, people. Up early this morning. Check out the white levels. Check out the white levels. Check out the white levels. Mr. Bird is tired. It is time for me to sleep pretty soon. So I get up. I have 2 sleeps. I go to sleep. Get up, I'm probably up in probably another hour or so. I'm done for the day. Really, honestly, we're done with this. Get some pictures done. Let's go bounce over to that 16K. What we got going over here? What's it for here? With these pretty colors. I swear that music reminds me of RoboCop. You remember RoboCop when they were dancing in the club and the guy hits the gun lands up here and the guy's just... No, the guy's just... They're fighting in the back and the guy hits him and the gun flies up in the air and the guy dancing catches the gun. He's dancing with the gun. That's what the music reminds me of. Let's go pop over to... This is a new one, but I want to do that later on. Guarantee that one was done in the dark. Let me see. Oh, I want to go check out the switch on call. We just got it already. Let's go clear this out. Have it up top in here. No, we don't. I do want to check this out at the bottom. So this would be part 3. We're done. Ugh. So it wouldn't take me this long to knock this out. We just have to have it done on camera. Once we basically don't do it on camera anymore, we can knock this out quick. We're done. I could have been had this screen paint already demonstration, but I was upstairs. I'm gonna get something to eat, watch a little TV, took a nap for a little bit, which I'm gonna go back upstairs and finish my nap. And remember, I had to come back down here before I get too lazy and too tired to come down here and get this done. All right, we'll show you the lights out too. This is all on my $500 projector. Yep. This is the screen we'll have on the display outside. And we got that big old sample sheet over there, painted on gray screen paint. And we'll show you at the end of the day why you do not want to go outside with the gray screen paint product or a white screen, how your colors are going to wash out and fade. And we're going to do it at now at 180 inches. Because 150 inch appears to be too small. We need to go bigger. And then we'll go bigger than that. That's a big raccoon. And the reason why we're doing this is because really the majority is at night. Sorry about that, nighttime. Because we still have some people that believe at the end of the day that if you're outside in the dark, that you're not going to see a difference. Oh, you're definitely going to see a difference. And you're going to get a chance to see that on a whopping 180 inches. This will be good for displays too, for companies. I'm basically have my work projectors do 1080p, but majority of my projectors I have upstairs, my main projectors I use basically for every day, are 720p projectors. I just thought about that. Yep, kitchen's gonna be 720p. The projection screen for the ceiling 720p, ultra stricto 720p, 720p in the lounge room with the ViewSonic projector. Upstairs, we're going to be swapping that entire room out for 720p projectors. The multi-screens are on all 720ps. And the main projector that blows out the entire screen is 720p. We even have 720p projectors for outside. This shows you at the end of the day, we don't need it.
The Brown family's Ira Carter has a celebrity guest cast so huge, here's his face we can fit into a 15-second promo.
All right, going through all that. can't wait to do the 250. I want to play Pac-Man, and I want my Pac-Man character to be the size of a car tire. I want a huge Pac-Man display. But I want it to be outside. Let's go check this out real quick. Let's see. Let's do the models. Whatever. Isn't that clean? That's what I tell you naysayers. Pace yourself. This is just the beginning for me. Since we've already figured out, we have now the blessing to be able to develop dark technology on this level. Don't worry about, as I said before, what you can see. Worry about what you can't see. We still got legend technology that's being developed. And legend technologies are 6 times more advanced than the 38 Black Widow. The legend, it's going to be a physical screen. They're going to be wallpaper. So then you guys will be sitting there hating on that next. Pace yourself. It's sad, but you know, at the end of the day, you have people out there that are like that. Everybody has to do it. That's nothing new. Everybody has to do it. That's their jobs at the end of the day. So be angry, upset, and mad. But I do say, before you even try to I don't know, at the end of the day, try to compare yourself to my product, you may want to pass these 29 black versus black test demonstrations that a 38 has passed already. You haven't even begun to do that, and you do not want me buying your product and bringing it down here for testing, because I will make you cancel out. You will not pass. Now, we're not talking about 2 individuals. We got a new one that's popped up now who's running his mouth too much. And like I said, you don't want my attention at the end of the day. Trust me. The other one learned that one the hard way. You don't want my attention, because I will embarrass you on YouTube pretty bad. So it's best that you basically go about your business, mind your business. You don't want my attention at the end of the day. The other one got, so like I said, I try to be respectful as much as possible, but like I said, if you're going to challenge my company, you don't want my attention at the end of the day. I will make you shut down your website. It'll get that bad for you. You will have to shut down your website to keep us from buying from you. If you have your product works the way it is, we'll bring it down and we'll run it through the grinder. But I don't want to see a whole bunch of cancellations. I don't want to see any if, ats, and this, that, and the other. And we don't want to hear it. If it works or it doesn't work. If it works, you can stand behind your product. If it doesn't, then it'll fail. You have three options. It can land here, and we can test it. And if you've been sticking your screen in dark environments with high-end projectors, it will fail miserably down here. And we don't do any of those things down here. Your screen will go through the grind as the rest of our technology goes through every day. If you cancel an order, you don't want to do that. You do not want to cancel against us. If you cancel against us, you're never going to be able to get out of that one. I don't know the way you can get out of it, but you don't want my attention. I think the other one, we know we're talking about, I don't mention his name, but I'm pretty sure he wished he never met me. Because if you're going to sit there and say at the end of the day that I canceled an order on you, trust me, you're not going to like the ending of it. And I hate to put it this way, but we got this individual canceled so many times on us. I can't even go into the record on how bad it was. Live stream, I got it on my account. This individual was shutting down his marketplace, removed it, deleted his entire marketplace to keep us from going into making another purchase from him. Couldn't back his product. This is what happens at the end of the day. If you're going to mess with God's blessings at the end of the day, you're going to challenge his blessings, man, at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to withstand it. You're not going to be able to handle it. Especially the way they do screens now. Though everybody's doing the same screen, the same protocol. Dark environment, powerful projector, dark environment. Come on, please. Now, that's why you don't see me do demonstrations on great paints. You never see his products being displayed out. No containers. We threw that stuff in the trash months ago. That stuff is in the trash. I said before, it's a waste of our time because we already know how it's going to play out. We don't bother with that anymore. When we do great demonstrations, we use digital and crystal screen paint. We use bare silver screen. We use with the 1, 2, or 3 in it, or we use network gray 773. We don't display this stuff anymore. The other one, no. We call them the other ones are the naysayers. We don't even give them credit for anything at all, period. For what? We have canceled orders sitting there. The last time I think he called me was on a Sunday. He was ranting about some nonsense. And I just sent him over a couple of pictures of his canceled orders and say, explain this. And that's the last time he called me. We don't have time. If I took the time out and addressed every single naysayer, I would never get anything done. And I really don't feel like buying y'all stuff and bringing it down here to waste my money, waste my time, to have my money put back onto my banking account or my cards, because it's not going to make it down here. We already know that. They're going to cancel out. We got two options that happen to us. Either a company's going to ignore us and not give us the sample sheets we request. We're not going to name who, but with two companies we did request at a time when the Phantom was being developed at 10%, and we were going through certified screens left and right. And we're tracking down other companies that can compete with the screen. We requested two companies. Never did get my Firehawk G4. I wonder where that went to. But anyway, I'm going to leave that alone. But as I said before, we've requested sample sheets from certified companies. And some of the companies never sent us the sample sheets. Pretty sure they were watching the YouTube videos. So they never popped up. And as for you hobbyists, at the end of the day, you know who you are. Well, like I said, we got enough canceled orders in you guys pretty much to choke a horse. So there's no point in doing any more demonstrations with you guys at the end of the day. If you want, I can give you a challenge, 180-inch screen by next week, displayed. I got mine already done. Mine's right here. Finished, done, and ready to go. Can't wait to get outside to play. But like all challenges, we always be a ton of challenges and never do the challenges. So what's the point? It's a waste of our time. I will be outside with the 180-inch, which I can't wait. Then after that, 250. And maybe, just maybe 300. 300, I think, is the biggest we can get. Now, the reason why I'm not showing you any contrast levels, not too much on the screen, there's no point. The screen's jet black. It's going to do contrast regardless. We have to look at things on the screen that it's not supposed to do, like bright, vivid colors, which are very important. That's why when you watch demonstrations on gray screen paint products, you know what you should be seeing? Contrast levels. That's something the screen is not supposed to be able to do. And these demonstrations should always be done in fully lit environments. The demonstration I'm doing right here alone, you cannot do at the end of the day. I'm in a max out zone at 180-inch screen, well, not fully 180-inch, but 180-inch screen, and we can display bright, vivid colors off this screen. Now, the question is, when they do the demonstrations, you should be seeing the opposite. You should be seeing dark contrast levels, and you should be seeing this in a fully lit environment, a max out zone. And the reason why they can't do a max out zone because the environments that they're in don't generate that much light to do it. You would have to be in an extremely bright area to do it. So things you request when it comes to the meters in the max out zone, meters can't be near projectors, they can't be near doors, they can't be near windows, and they have to lay flat to the ground. That means that the only light that's going to really have contact with that meter is over top. You're going to have to generate enough light to max that thing out.
Jesus snacks are the most satisfying combination.
So that means your area is going to have to be extremely well lit beyond belief. And if you can't get an everyday screen to pull up in there on the basic ambient light you have in the environment, there's no way in the world you're going to get a meter to max out in there. So let me explain to you this right here. Oh, all the snow is almost gone. This is the meter. Now, what people would do when they cheat when they have meters, what they'll do is they'll set the meter right there up front, like this, right up in front. So when the projector hits it, some of that light is making contact with that sensor, and that's causing it to trigger. Or they'll put it in a bookcase right near the door, knowing when the light comes in from the door, that's causing it to trigger. Or they'll have it tucked near a window, so the window light can make contact with it. No. That thing must sit right in the center. No windows, no doors, nothing to make contact, to disrupt any at all. The reason why we drop them on the ground, so the projector can't make contact with it. And your meter needs to be maxed out. So if you're going to be doing an ambient light or real ambient light demonstration, you need to be in a max out zone to do that. We don't have pockets of darkness and none of that nonsense, no. Present a meter and show the meter maxed out. And the reason why they can't do that is because they would have to have a lot of light in the environment to do that. These are the high-end fluorescent lights that we use in here. So that right there doesn't make contact with that. Door doesn't make contact with that. What's going on back there with that fluorescent light doesn't make contact with that because we have this here. The only thing that's making contact is that right there. So you would have to have that much light generated in the room to max your meter out. And you would have to display contrast levels only, without the screen washing out or becoming tannish or grayish to the screen. And I'm talking about fake contrast where you got pretty colors floating all through it. I'm talking about the goldfish, star field, stuff like that. The heavy contrast. Let's see, been there with that one already. Let's go with J&K 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
So far, it's done pretty good at picking up. This is the new Fire Stick we're running right now. The other one's kind of used to what I'm used to running all the time. Now, when I came here, I can show contrast levels from sun up to sundown. But what would be the point of that? Again, the screen's jet black. There's no point. What I do in here is I show the opposite. I show nice bright colors and fruits and skin tones and white snow scenes. That's what I'm supposed to be showing you. So when you watch a gray screen, guess what? It's supposed to do the opposite. It's supposed to show the meter in the max out zone, showing it's taking in that much light, and it's supposed to show the opposite. All dark contrast levels. But instead, what they do is they do the demonstration of a bunch of pretty colors and go, look, it's ambient light. No, it's not. I can do the same thing. I got network gray over on the floor. It does the same thing. But it can't produce a contrast level. So that's what I need to see. All right, everybody else should be seeing that too at the end of the day. Let's come out of the Snow Wolf. Let's go pop over to, let me see what we got going over here. Snow Wolf, fish, burn that. We get outside today. You have no idea how bad I want to get outside right now.
Your skin is so soft, baby. We made these soft too. Huggies, we got you, baby.
Man, this being 180 and 180 was so easy to roll over. Man, 200 shouldn't be that bad. We knock out a 200. We can add a 200 to the list. Because I do want, oh, what am I doing? I keep bouncing out of that one. Look at something on here. I want to add a 200 inch screen to the list. Let me see. We got some new ones in here. This is definitely new. When we do the 250, I'm gonna see by then if I can get permission. I don't know what I gotta do to get permission to show movie trailers, because that would be really, really nice. If I can get that permission to show movie trailers, that'd be awesome. I would love to do Pacific Rim, or I would like to do Godzilla on a 250-inch screen bouncing back and forth. That would be so freaking cool to watch. Because I see other people on YouTube do it. They show trailers all the time. I'm pretty sure they're not getting massive copyright strikes for that. So it's got to be something that they have to do, or maybe have to pay something or whatever. But I'm going to figure it out. Waiting time. What's in there? Let's go take our little walk what we usually like to do. Because that screen has to pick up at 190-degree viewing angle. And we're going to have crowds of people out. We hope you don't have crowds of people outside, but you know, you're going to have a gathering. People are going to be standing at the side. Someone could be standing here. Someone could be standing here. Someone could be standing here. You see what I mean? You have to be to see that screen. Boom. So this can be folded up, throw it in the corner, whatever, doesn't make a difference. It's not gonna crack, not gonna peel. And if anyone asks, is it weatherproof? Well, screen out there, same thing. Sitting out there in all that cold weather. that right there. Let's go pop over to, let me see. We're gonna give us our J&K 4K. We should have got that right from in front of the door. Why didn't we get it? So we did 1080p. Let's go. Knock it out for boom. Let's go drop over to 720p. 720p portrait. Now we're gonna fire up the Chrissy LW400. I do like having these many projector displays over here. I like this. Because then we can swap off for that one. We jump to that one right there. We got another one down there on the floor. And we got this one right here for the floor. I like this nice little setup we got here. Okay, let's get you guys set up over here. Okay, let's get you. Let's unshift. Now we're at 720p. Oh, these got i5s in them. I kind of forgot that. These VHPs have i5s in them. i5. 7010s. 7010s have i5s in them. All right, we got the game of the day. Which mouse belongs to which one? All right, this one right here. Let's see if we're gonna shut up like you started from the door. Service might be off.
And not the other way around. And finally, keep track of everything at a glance, from deal status to your team's performance, with dashboards that you can easily customize to suit you. Monday CRM gives you a bird's eye view of your entire sales cycle, so you always know what's working and what's not. Go to monday.com to start your free trial today.
This is my Steam automatically activating right on.
Please check. Shipyards check. Snack. Snack for Dad? It's an away game, you know. Atta girl.
Entenmann's Minis. Perfectly sized, perfectly delicious.
Oh, it's a turn.
Enter the Mini Acts of Kindness 5K giveaway at miniactsoftendness.com.
The reason why I'm displaying this because I have to be to see my text from where I'm standing at right now. Not to be on top of the screen. I need to be back here and read that crystal clear. Which I can see crystal clear. Because if the screen wasn't generated at a high enough light level, you would not be able to read the text on the screen. It'd be too dark. So let me show you something interesting. You see how the screen is displaying? You would expect for the screen to display in portrait mode, right? That's not going to happen. It's still going to display in landscape, but the screen is basically going to display in portrait mode. The videos are basically not going to come in portrait mode. There's the only way you can switch that around. Your projector literally would have to have that option on it. The projector we have over here doesn't have the option for portrait mode, but you can take the projector, if you're doing gaming or whatever, you can change the settings to vertical, whatever, and you can stand the projector upright so the screen comes in portrait mode, and then go over into your display settings and go from there and change that over to portrait mode. But the actual video on YouTube is not going to display in portrait mode. The only way you can actually achieve that if you have to have a special projector, and that is a Sony VPO FH31. The FH31 has something called a portrait mode option, which actually will switch even video, everything into a portrait mode view. There's three of those projectors. One is the FH36, which has edge blending technology. The other, which is the black one you're seeing over there, right there. And then the other one we have is an FH30 and FH36. The FH30 only had, all of them had twin mode, but that's all that the FH30 has. The FH31, on the other hand, has the portrait mode, which means the minute you turn that thing upward, automatically goes into portrait mode. You have to go through a PC or whatever. That thing will convert your PS4, Xbox, whatever you're running, automatically into portrait mode, because the projector physically does portrait mode. When you actually bring it down and lay it down flat, it does the landscape with no problem. That's why I was hunting that projector down and can't find it, but still hunting and looking for that projector. And once I get it here, I can turn it up this way, and automatically that screen will whoop, turn that way too. Now, this one you're seeing right now, this is the Christie projector. This is running the 3D mapping software, which I just activated now. That one's on now. That one runs the mapping software, which we have right back there. And that's running the orb that's bouncing in and out of the screen. Also, too, has gaming applications. That lamp has to be replaced. I gotta go on Amazon to get my $68 lamp. So that's probably what I'm gonna be playing around with today, because I don't play around with my TV mapper enough. Make sure the remote controls back to it anymore. It's lost remote controls because I can't deal with that right now. This is what we're doing over here. Setting up for the program. Let's see. What's that one? Oh, no. Oh, this one. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon, Charlie. Let's see something from that. All right, people, I'm gonna let you go. I'm done for me. I don't want to run too much time into this. And I'll need to do some programming for this, get this thing ready for some other applications. But yeah, screen came out fantastic. Took 48 ounces to paint it. That's it. We're done. We got to do some updating on the website because apparently, yeah, 40 ounces can paint a 180-inch screen. So we're going to be removing the 1 gallons today. All right, got to go. Thank you all, and God bless.